restrictions apply. If is not available.
Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. This is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. I'm here to ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy. But with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thanks for riding with Metro Transit. Again, that's Metro Transit.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Do you know that from birth to age 3, simple activities like talking, playing, reading, storytelling, and singing can boost your child's development? Little Moments Count provides parents and caregivers with the resources they need to make the most of your time together. Visit littlemomentscount.org for resources designed to support you in giving your child the best start in life. Again, please visit littlemomentscount.org.
Time is running out to see Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This moving exhibition of painting, poetry, and installation art explores memory's fragility and strength, honoring stories passed through generations. The show closes December 13th, so don't miss your chance to experience this transformative work. Visit All My Relations Arts before it's gone. Learn more about exhibition hours and events at allmyrelationsarts.org.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, snow and windy conditions with a low of 21. Then Wednesday, cloudy with temperatures around 17. Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood bar and restaurant at 26th and Lindale in Minneapolis. Come in for the famous Nightingale burger or the ginger tamari chicken wings. View their menu or place a takeout order at nightingalempls.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake. Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Cudahy to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events. And as you know, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Hey, we have our friend, State Representative Heather Keeler on, and I know you're moving and grooving. I really appreciate you coming in and checking in with us and all our listeners. Thank you so much for being on, Heather.
Yeah, thanks for having me. We're in crazy weather over here, so I've been in and out trying to shovel and keep up with things. So I hope as our listeners are out and about, people are being safe, taking more time, being cautious of people around them too. I feel like, it's one thing when you're the driver, but it's another thing, defensive driving. So just make sure everybody is safe out there. It's wild.
Yeah, definitely. And here in the Twin Cities too, we were supposed to get a bit of mix of rain and snow, but it's been all snow and it's adding up. And always stretch. When you're my age, Heather, you got to stretch before you go out and shovel. Oh,
I stretch all the time. Robert, I actually think that stretching is something that a lot of people overlook. Like, I was reading this article a while ago that actually brought it to my attention that sometimes people say that they just feel old, and the truth is like just they need to get into a stretching habit, whether it's like a couple minutes every day. It actually really helps. Drink water and stretch, man. It's like a good thing to do for your body.
Right on. Hey, so exciting news. We're gonna have Shelley Buck on here too after you're done, and we're done with you. And we're really excited. Young Native women running for office here in Minnesota. You are on a different track right now, and we are so grateful that you have stepped up and are running for Congress. And how's that going? And how are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. If people have looked at Congressional District 7, it's basically the entire west side of the state. It's 38 counties. It's 3 times the size of Massachusetts. And so it's a lot of ground that I'm covering. But I have always believed in building deep-rooted relationships. And so I'm somewhere every day, and sometimes a couple communities within a day. And so it's been really wonderful. I'll be honest, like I didn't really know what to expect, as being like a Native woman, it's sometimes implicit bias kicks in and how people receive you is very different. Nothing's new in the fact that I've always had to work 4 to 7 times harder than I would say mediocre colleagues of mine, to prove that I'm valuable. And so that's happening a bit. I'm having to spend time with people to explain that I have a personal, professional, and political background to go be a quality congressperson and represent, our district well. But also, I try to explain, my work as being an Indian education liaison and the ability to build bridges and listening to community and their hardships and helping kind of regurgitate that into some solution focused ideas and then taking them to the decision makers. And so to me, it just feels like I'm on a level of greater value in that liaison role. And so it's been wonderful. I can tell you, I have met very wonderful people out here that come from different walks of life that I kind of would say are uncommon partners in this work with me. And it's been just really beautiful. I don't really have anything to say bad other than I'm tired. I'm just working really hard.
Well, I want you to, and it's really awesome because when you first started out, I got a text about $7 a month. How can people support your candidacy and give any amount? We really want that seat. We really want that seat, and we want you in the seat. So, how can people support you?
Yeah, I mean, I think a couple things. Obviously, money, to run a campaign this big against somebody who's already endorsed by Trump is just going to take money and it's going to take resources. And so the $7 a month is just to help us solidify how we can pay our staff. I really believe in paying my staff an affordable wage. Like we can't be out here fighting for affordability if we're not paying our own staff in a good way. And so I think many people would agree with me that it's important that we don't utilize people for free. And so it's a lot of that. But like I said, it's a big geographic footprint. So just the gas for me to get places, the hotels so that I can stay, me and my team can stay places safely. So we're not driving home in these dark, snowy roads is beneficial. But also just, the cost of everything is more expensive. We have to mail things out. We have signs. We have buttons and different things that we have to purchase to make sure that we do this. So there's always a cost. But I think one of the things, and maybe Robert, at some point in time, we can come back and actually talk about the on-ramp to politics, because I think often what happens is people will say this to me. They'll be like, oh, I'm so glad you're running for Congress. You have my vote in November. And the truth is, like, that's the very last step to all of this. And if we're like really mad about the outcomes that we've had recently, elections have consequences, but I don't think anybody ever teaches us where that front door is. And the front door is actually February 3rd, when precinct caucuses start. And what people can do to help is get involved before February 3rd, get behind a candidate, get behind a purpose. Like when you go to your precinct caucuses, this is where you put forth resolutions that matter to you. This is where, when we were doing a lot of the work as a water protector and, protecting certain rights of individuals, that it starts at this precinct caucus process, which is starting very soon. And so that's what we need. We need individuals in CD7 and all around in every congressional district to really start to find that front door. Because the truth is like, I mean, nobody ever showed me any of the path to get here. And I'm sure many of our listeners, people haven't shown you the path on how to get here. And I believe that it's a little bit intentional. You know, they want to keep certain people in the lane of power. And I think it's my job that once I've learned, you know, the insides to this, to make sure that we go back and share that with community. And so just making sure people understand that precinct caucuses are very important. This is where we find our delegates. This is how down the road we make the decision on who our DFL endorsed candidates will be on the ballot in November. And so it's really important for people to get engaged early. And so my ask is, if any of you know people in CD7, again, look at a map, it's giant. Right now we're hosting meet and greets. We're hosting small, I'm calling them tie and talks. We're making tie blankets while we talk about the issues in the community, so that we're doing service projects. We have a lot of neighbors that are cold. And so as we get together and strategize about what kind of congressional leaders we want, we're also doing good and using our hands for purpose in those conversation spaces. And so just finding ways to get engaged, find ways to connect with me, and share the message that we're running. And as always, you know, my goal is to lead with love.
Absolutely. And again, is there a website or that I can direct people to that aren't able to maybe do that, to throw you some greenbacks there to keep things rolling?
Yeah, so it's KeelerForCongress.com, all spelled out. And I tell people that the dollar limits are very different when you're running for Congress. You know, in the state level, it's much smaller donation limits, but at the congressional level, individuals can donate up to $3,500 before the primary and another $3,500 after towards the general. And so, you know, the top areas that I always have been a strong champion for is obviously protecting our earth and protecting Unchimaka, and make sure that we're kind, you know, to the environment around us. But access to rural healthcare is really, really important to me. It's been my life's work, and not just physical healthcare, but access to mental health care and access to food and healthy food to nourish us, because we know what we put in our body is medicine. And making sure that we have access to the good food that we need. And so that's the work that I would do at the next level. So if those are areas that people deeply care about, invest in a campaign like mine.
Thank you so much. I know you're really busy, and I really appreciate you stopping in and checking in with us and our listeners. Thank you so much. Heather Keeler, you're going to be Keeler for Congress. That sounds like really good to me.
Yeah, well, Peter.
Hey, up next, Shelley Buck. We'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio. Hoa.
If you're in need of food resources, Hennepin County is here to help. Food shelves near you are ready with fresh, nutritious food. SNAP remains open. You can continue applying for benefits. If you are expecting or have children ages 0 to 5, WIC can provide even more support. Get connected to free or low-cost food resources near you at hennepin.us/food-help. Again, that address is hennepin.us/food-help.
MIWR is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MIWR has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at MNsure.org. That's MNsure.org.
Time is running out to see Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This moving exhibition of painting, poetry, and installation art explores memory's fragility and strength, honoring stories passed through generations. The show closes December 13th, so don't miss your chance to experience this transformative work. Visit All My Relations Arts before it's gone. Learn more about exhibition hours and events at allmyrelationsarts.org.
Do you know that from birth to age 3, simple activities like talking, playing, reading, storytelling, and singing can boost your child's development? Little Moments Count provides parents and caregivers with the resources they need to make the most of your time together. Visit littlemomentscount.org for resources designed to support you in giving your child the best start in life. Again, please visit littlemomentscount.org.
I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and I want to be your next United States Senator, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back, everyone. We are so pleased to have Shelley Buck on and talk about things, what's happening. Really amazing, Shelley, stepping up and running for a state representative. Thank you so much for coming on. And let's talk a little bit about your journey and how people can support you.
Definitely. Hi. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here to talk about my campaign. I decided I'm running for Minnesota House 47A in the Woodbury, South Maplewood area. The seat was vacated by Amanda Hemmingson-Yeager when she won the Senate seat in the special election in November. So this district has seen its fair share of special elections this year.
Absolutely. Hey, talk about, and I know this because, I was a former representative of my tribe, but talk a little bit about your background, which to me is amazing, and it's a perfect fit for what you're about to do for our state.
Yeah, definitely. I am an enrolled member of the Prairie Island Indian community. They're here in Minnesota, and I served on tribal council for my tribe for 12 years, 6 of those being as president. So, I worked with the legislature, our partners at the legislature, both on the state and federal level, as well as our elected local officials. So I'm pretty familiar with how it works. We were able, when I was on tribal council, we were able to get a few of our own bills for Prairie Island through the legislature, a lot of education, a lot of meetings, some testimony, but, we were able to get it done. I was also honored to serve as the vice chair of Minnesota Indian Affairs Council during a few of those years that I was president for the tribe. So I was able to help with some bills on that level as well.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's a interesting way to maneuver in the Capitol and how things get done. But you'll definitely be, a running start once you get elected.
Definitely. I will be able to hit the ground running, which is what will be needed since this is finishing out the remainder of Amanda's term. And then I have to get right back on the campaign trail in this summer once session's done. So it's a very short, tight run right now, and then a little breather with the session, and then right back up with campaigning again.
Well, I have to ask you this because I don't want to forget, but how can people support you? Where's your website, your Facebook? And so people can check you out and support you and tell their relatives in a good way to vote for you.
Definitely. My website is buckforhouse.com, and the 4 is spelled out. So it's buckforhouse.com. You can go to my Facebook page, which is, I believe it's Shelley Buck for Minnesota House, MN House. And then I also have an Instagram. I try to keep up on those as much as I can. Facebook, it's a little easier for me to keep up on that than it is Instagram, but I am trying to keep up on both. On my website, you will see an endorsements page. I've been very, very fortunate to get quite a few endorsements. There's a volunteer. We just put up a volunteer page. I do have 3 phone banks coming up this week. One's tomorrow, I believe one's Sunday, and then the final one is Monday. And I have 2 door knocking. So those people who love the outdoors in the wintertime here in Minnesota are welcome to join Saturday 11 to 1 or Sunday 1 to 3. You can sign up and get the information about all those on my website in the volunteer section. And then also there's a donate page or donate button on my website that you can donate as well.
Perfect. And talk about a few of your endorsements. To me, it's amazing. They came up quick, and one of them, the Boundary Water Action Fund, Save the Boundary Waters, that really caught my eye. Really, let's save it.
Definitely. I've been very fortunate to get quite a few endorsements. Save the Boundary Waters was one of the first ones. Emily's List was the first one. Save the Boundaries was the second. And it was just great to be able to see all the different amazing work that these different groups are doing to help in a lot of different areas that I'm interested in. And obviously being Dakota, the environment, our natural relatives are incredibly important to me. And it's something that I really want to help protect. Right now we have PFAS in our water all over the Twin Cities, all the way down even to Prairie Island. So, it's really important that we make sure that there's no further contamination going on from anyone and that we hold the polluters fully accountable for the cleanup. It's really sad to see all the people who have been affected. My daughter happens to be one of them. She just had her water tested earlier this year, and it's like thousands upon thousands times higher than what it should be for PFAS. And, it's concerning. It's very concerning.
Yeah. I see too, our friend, the Lieutenant Governor, has endorsed you, and that's huge. And she's got her own trail too coming up. And so I'm really excited about all these Native women. As you probably heard, we had State Representative Heather Keeler on just before you, and just excited that you guys are stepping up in a good way. And it's so important for us, not only for you to be a woman, but also a tribal member and know the system to represent not only your area, but the state.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's exciting to see all these Native women stepping up and leading. And I loved how you said in the last segment that you enjoy seeing all these young Native women stepping up.
Yeah.
I love that because as of last week, I am now officially an elder per my tribe. So I appreciate that shout out to being young.
Well, both you and your sister do look young, but then again, that's coming from a 64-year-old man. So, and then I just got my glasses. No, I'm just kidding. No, you're young in spirit, and I've worked with you on other things and know you and know of you. And that's funny you caught that. That's great. Yeah. Well, you have to be young in spirit, definitely, to run and knock on these doors and really care for the community, which obviously you do.
Yeah, I do. And it's something that's missing. I think we need to have a Badewa Kanto Dakota, someone whose people were born here in this state from the waters here in Minnesota. It's really important to have our voices. We have a different worldview, as you well know, of how we see things, plants, animals, land, water. They're our relatives. And we feel when you see things in that manner, you tend to treat them better. And I think, trying to teach people how to see life in a different way is really important. Bringing back some civility and common sense is important. And just continue the amazing work that Amanda Hemmingson-Yeager has already been doing in this district. I'm excited to continue that work as well and just add a different perspective and view to this district and help the people here in the district. I've only lived here in the district for about 3 years now, but I really enjoy the district. I have always come to the district even before I moved here. I shop here. My doctors are here. So it's just really special to be able to represent them and really try to help any way I can at the Capitol for them.
What is, we were talking about, those forever chemicals. What else are you really hanging your hat on here and really promoting? Once you get elected too, you'll be working on and what is in your forefront there?
I think, before the Trump administration came on, my list was much smaller. Now that the Trump administration is doing their thing, my list has grown. So it's hard to pinpoint just a few, but one that has been with me for a while is affordable, accessible health care. I've been very fortunate. My tribe provides health care for me, health insurance, and we have the clinic on the island if I need it. So I've been very fortunate, but having to deal with the healthcare industry with my mom, who I moved up here a couple of years ago, it's really frustrating. And I think healthcare is a fundamental human right. And I think there's a way that we can do it. I mean, other countries are able to do healthcare for all. Why can't the supposed greatest country in the world do it? There has to be a reason that we're not doing it. And I think most people know. But, I want to work on things like that, affordable housing. Things, just affordability of everything in general has become such a hard thing, but affordable housing, people need a good roof over their head that they can feel safe and secure in. And I want to be able to help that. And what they consider affordable nowadays is just blows my mind. So looking at that formula and how they actually come to that dollar amount in the different areas, I'd like to know how to actually make it reality, what actually is happening.
I feel like we needed legislation for these people that have swooped in and really raised the, you hear Alex Rodriguez, who now owns the Timberwolves, talk about his wealth and how many doorknobs he owns. And all these people, we need some legislation to really fight back on all these predators that have raised. It used to be that, if you got a house, you had some security and some equity, and now it's hard to get in there.
It is. Just living here 3 years, I just received my third property tax evaluation. And in 3 years, my property taxes have gone up tremendously. This last one was just 15% increase. But it's crazy. I think about what I pay now in property taxes versus what I did when I first moved in. And I don't know how people do it. I mean, it's really crazy. And I can foresee my monthly payment going up because of that.
Shelley, do you have time? We got to take a break. Do you have time just to join us for a little bit more after the break?
Of course.
Oh, excellent. Hey, we're here with Shelley Buck, and we're talking about her running for District 47A. We are really excited to have you on, and we'll be right back. This is Native Roots Radio.
If you're in need of food resources, Hennepin County is here to help. Food shelves near you are ready with fresh, nutritious food. SNAP remains open. You can continue applying for benefits. If you are expecting or have children ages 0 to 5, WIC can provide even more support. Get connected to free or low-cost food resources near you at hennepin.us/food-help. Again, that address is hennepin.us/food-help.
Time is running out to see Matrilineal Memory by hobby artist Michaela Schaefer at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis. This moving exhibition of painting, poetry, and installation art explores memory's fragility and strength, honoring stories passed through generations. The show closes December 13th, so don't miss your chance to experience this transformative work. Visit All My Relations Arts before it's gone. Learn more about exhibition hours and events at allmyrelationsarts.org.
MIWR is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MIWR has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans. Plus, get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at minsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
Do you know that from birth to age 3, simple activities like talking, playing, reading, storytelling, and singing can boost your child's development? Little Moments Count provides parents and caregivers with the resources they need to make the most of your time together. Visit littlemomentscount.org for resources designed to support you in giving your child the best start in life. Again, please visit littlemomentscount.org.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thanks for riding with Metro Transit. Again, that's Metro Transit.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Greg Bakken here. I've told you about the out-of-the-world roast beef sandwiches at Maverick's Real Roast Beef, but I haven't told you about their Philly steak sandwiches, turkey bacon avocado sandwich, BLT, crispy chicken, fish sandwiches, brisket, or pulled pork. Okay, you get the idea. They make a lot of delicious food to the same standard as their famous roast beef sandwiches, and now I'm starving. I'm going to go to Maverick's Real Roast Beef off Lexington and Roseville, and you need to go too. Check out their menu at mavericksbeef.com.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Tonight, snow and windy conditions with a low of 21. Then Wednesday, cloudy with temperatures around 17. We can't keep progressive radio on the air at AM 950 without your support. If you can, please head over to am950radio.com and make a donation. As a thank you, we'll send you our 6th annual AM 950 calendar. That's am950radio.com.
AM 950 KTNF, St. Louis Park, Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio Presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back. This is Native Roots Radio, and we are here with our friend Shelley Buck, who's running for Minnesota House and District 47A. It's a special primary election. I'm always excited because I'm a former high school teacher to see our elected officials and people that we really like that are supported by the union, and I think that's really huge because that's a big part of our middle class.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I was really honored to be endorsed by some of the unions, and I'm also talking to other unions. So hopefully there'll be more endorsements coming in the next week or so. I'm excited, very excited. The support has been incredibly overwhelming that I've received, and I'm just honored to be able to step up and do this work.
And so, can you tell me a little bit? We need to vote by the December 16th. Can you tell me a little bit about that process and what's going on with that?
Definitely, because it's a special election and there is more than one DFL candidate running. We need to have a primary, which will be December 16th. We had our endorsing convention on December 3rd. Then we have the primary December 16th, and then whoever wins that will be the only ballot on the January 27th election, since there was no Republican candidate that filed.
How exciting is that? You get excited. Our terms were every 4 years at Ho-Chunk. You get really excited about running and nervous and things like that. But this is kind of another level.
It definitely is, and it is for me even more, because at Prairie Island, ours were every 2 years, like the House here in the state, but we didn't really campaign like a lot of other tribes do. Our campaigning was just like, hey, you know me, you know my family, vote for me, kind of thing. Whereas here, you actually have to campaign. Like, you have to go door knock. You have to have money to send out mailers, and you have to set up a website. And there's just so much that goes into this. And I'm thankful, so thankful for the people that I have helping me with this. There are some really amazing people here in the district that have really helped me out in navigating this process. Because it's not easy. There's a lot that goes into this that can be pretty scary if you don't do it right. So I've been very grateful to have the support that I've had to help guide me through this.
That's great. And I don't know if you heard State Representative Keeler was talking about that too, maneuvering through this, that, a lot of times this isn't a place where they want us to be. So they make it hard in a lot of ways, but it's great that you have that support.
It is. It's definitely great or helpful, but I can't even imagine what running for a Congress is like. That is something I will never know because I don't ever want to do that. This is good. I'm good with this. Staying in the state and helping our state on this level is perfect for me.
Never say never.
Never.
Yeah. Well, that's good. We need strong leadership here. And I'm just like really flabbergasted and excited for you. And I have an opportunity to have a lot of updates from a lot of our representatives here on Native Roots Radio. So I'll be looking forward to that too, with you and what's going on in your district and what's going on in the state. So what are some of the challenges that were in your district that have been coming up that maybe surprised you or even you knew about?
No, I think most of them I knew about. I think one that might have surprised me a little bit is affordable housing. They're still shy some affordable housing here in the district, like they are everywhere, it seems like. But I was really excited to see all the work that the town of Woodbury, at least, they've been doing to really help get that under control. I'm really excited to work with the elected leaders, both in South Maplewood and Woodbury. Our district's a funny district. We have South Maplewood and Woodbury. So I have like 2 different school districts, 2 different mayors, 2 different towns, 2 different everything. But I'm excited because, it's a whole array of people that I'll be able to work with. Unfortunately, I knew that, PFAS was a thing here. They're doing a whole new water system here in Woodbury. There's construction going on all over. There was, before the snow hit, there was construction going on to replace pipes and will continue next year. But I'm really excited to be able to represent the people and really help this area. It's a really growing area. It still feels, where I live, it still feels like you're a little bit out of the country, out towards the country, but you're right in the heart of everything and so close to everything with so much natural beauty. When I moved here, I was afraid I wouldn't see all the animals that I used to see where I used to live, but there's still so many animals. My Ring camera goes off all the time with different animals going through the yard.
I don't know if you ever listen to our show. Wendy and I talk about, we have ducks, we're right in St. Paul, right in between St. Kate's and St. Thomas. It's right by the river, but we have everything but deer. I think we have raccoons, possums. It's so fun, and we feed them. So I guess, they're heavy too. They have weight issues. So we got a few more minutes here. Again, I want people to know how they can support you, find out more. Let's talk about that again. I want to bring that up a bunch of times, especially for our listeners who are driving and aren't able to write this down.
Definitely. My website is buckforhouse.com. You can see my endorsement page, my issues page. There's a volunteer button where you can sign up to help volunteer, either do some phone banking for me or even come out and bear the weather with us this weekend, door knocking. You could go to my Facebook page to keep updated on my campaign. It's Shelley Buck for MN House, or you can go to my Instagram, which is Buck for House. Keep up on what's going on. I try to post as soon as I get an endorsement, which I think there's going to be another endorsement announcement coming up tomorrow. So be on the lookout for that one.
Wow.
But any support that you guys can give, even just you can email me at info@buckforhouse.com and just hey, I'm keeping an eye on you. Would be
right
great.
On. Well, I know you're busy, and I really appreciate you being on and holding over a little longer than you expected. So that's very gracious of you. I really appreciate you, Shelley. And we got to get you on maybe even the 15th, the day before the election, just to remind everyone.
We'll try. We'll see how it goes. My schedule's kind of crazy, but yeah, just shoot me an email to remind me, and we'll see.
Right on. Thank you again, Shelley. Good luck, and I'm really hoping that things are going to go well, and I have a great feeling.
Well, thank you, MIWR. I appreciate your support and having me on today.
Right on. We'll talk to you soon. Wow, I just want to say how amazing that is, to have Shelley on, and then prior to that, Heather. It's just really, really amazing here. And we're blessed here at Native Roots Radio to be able to amplify these great voices out there in the community. And yeah, I don't know. I wanted to mention a couple things. I know the prior show, Matt was talking about this, but craziness happening up there for our friend Winona LeDuc. And, I just, we put some tobacco out for her and what's going on up there with people just driving by and shooting, and that's just not cool, and the Star Tribune had an article about that today. And Winona LeDuc sounds the alarm after her family farm was riddled with bullets. So prayers out there. Indigenous rights activist Winona LeDuc's family farm in northern Minnesota was sprayed by hail of a gunfire last month. They almost killed my children, she told the Minnesota Star Tribune. They ducked as soon as they started firing. The shooting was reported around 6 p.m. on November 18th at LeDuc's farm in rural Becker County, along State Highway 34 near the town of Osage, about 10 miles west of Park Rapids. She grows industrial hemp, and I've been up there, and there has been farmers markets on the property where her relatives live, and around a dozen bullets broke into the windows, and casings were dug out of the kitchen cabinets and the walls. She said her 3 grandchildren took cover as the gunfire came first from a dirt road to the west, and shots continued across the highway to the south. She said weeks into the investigation, she said she's received no communications from law enforcement and has no answers or a sense of safety. She said that there is a lack of urgency that's especially unsettling after the assassination of Melissa and Mark Hortman earlier this year. In response to requests for comment, Becker County Sheriff Todd Glander said in an email that the investigation continues and authorities are still seeking the public help. This appears to be an isolated incident, and we are looking into motives as part of an ongoing investigation. At this point, I will be not willing to discuss tips received. He mentioned in adding the drive-by shootings are rare in the country. LeDuc said she reached out to the sheriff's office in Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension. We've heard nothing, and I've asked repeatedly, she said. The BCA didn't immediately respond to the request for comments. If it had happened in a prominent non-native person, I think we would have had more answers than we're getting now, said LeDuc, an enrolled member of the White Earth Band of Ojibwe. I don't think it's a good omen for any of us if this kind of thing happens and then nobody says anything. These are really politically charged times and toxic environments towards people who are outspoken, she said. LeDuc has been outspoken for decades in globally recognizing Indigenous advocacy against oil pipelines, twice ran for U.S. vice president. She said she's never experienced violence like this. Oh my gosh. Prayers to Winona LeDuc, and this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break.
If you're in need of food resources, Hennepin County is here to help. Food shelves near you are ready with fresh, nutritious food. SNAP remains open. You can continue applying for benefits. If you are expecting or have children ages 0 to 5, WIC can provide even more support. Get connected to free or low-cost food resources near you at hennepin.us/food-help. Again, that address is hennepin.us/food-help.
A reminder to anyone who rides Metro buses. That means the A, B, C, D, gold, orange, or red lines. Remember to pay your fare before you get on. Either buy a ticket at your station's ticket machine, tap your go-to card, or pass to the reader at the station, or activate a ticket on the Metro Transit app. Have your proof of payment ready to show to trip agents if asked, or risk getting a citation. Thanks for riding with Metro Transit. Again, that's Metro Transit.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950. MIWR is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance but not sure where to start? MIWR has you covered. You can find discounts, compare private health plans, and see if you qualify for free or low-cost insurance plans, plus get help from an expert so you can save on the coverage you need. Enroll online by December 15th for coverage starting January 1st. Get started today at minsure.org. That's mnsure.org.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our wolf and bear populations. Say no to the hunts.
No! Hey, I want to introduce my awesome and beautiful wife, Wendy. Wendy's been an animal advocate for many, many years, and you're a co-founder of Native Roots Radio, and we're heading towards our 10th season here on AM 950, and one of us should get an award.
Well, we should definitely go out and celebrate for sure.
I know maybe what I can go down with the laser engraver, our other business, and make an award and bring it down.
That would be good.
The studio.
Yeah, bring an award. Make your own award and give yourself your own award. You know who that sounds like?
Who?
Somebody.
Oh my God!
I don't have to say his name.
No,
but that's something he would do because I think he made up one. Right? Somebody
made up one.
And
he got a Nobel Peace Prize, second place, or something.
Some
Jesus
BS thing, but anyway. Yeah. Hey everybody, my name is Hana Jihihani. That means cares for them, and I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajinga. I am a policy volunteer for Humane World for Animals, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level. It's always my pleasure to do that. So it's snowing like crazy. Like every time I go and I look at the news, it's like, we're going to get 5 to 8 inches. And then if it goes a little bit south, but if it doesn't, we might not get that much, but so we'll figure it out. We'll see what we get. It's coming down pretty hard though.
Yeah.
So all our
relatives,
our little relatives outside who we really tried. I worry about, I worry about the unsheltered people. Absolutely. Without a doubt. I mean, but I also worry about the, animals too that are out there. But
well, you've put your money where your mouth is. We have a heated condo for our
heated condos.
Our Goliath the cat. That's a neighborhood cat, and then I saw two little mice going in there too.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you're doing good.
Fine with me. I don't care who uses it.
I
No
have
ducks
all those
come every day.
sparrows too.
Well,
I love the sparrows.
Yesterday, you noticed that there were 6 robins.
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, 6 robins all around that big heated bowl drinking the water. The sparrow went in for a bath because it's like heated water. I was like worried that he was going to come out and like freeze and his wings weren't. But you told me about that, and I was like, well, I think he probably knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I don't know. But a lot of people say that
you're crazy. No, you love animals, and it's funny too when I go to the big box store and get the peanuts and stuff. They're going, oh, we love feeding our animals too, and they get it.
They do. Yeah, some people think we're crazy. I know one woman, I bought a whole bunch of stuff. Excuse me, and I was checking out. And she goes, wow, I wish I could. How long does this last? She said. So I said, I don't know. I'm thinking about a month. Maybe a month, all this, peanuts. We get sunflower seeds.
Corn.
We get corn. And then we get like a mixed seed thing. And I said about a month. So she looked at how much it was at the, after she went in, she's like, oh, I wish I could afford this, but I can't afford that,
God, we started with just salty peanuts from Cub.
You would just throw out like 6.
Yeah. Now we have 13 squirrels out here that are begging, and they're heavy. They eat a lot.
Right, I know.
They're good health.
Well, some people say you shouldn't feed the wildlife, but here's a post that I found. It said, just a reminder, possums, raccoons, and skunks. So possums, raccoons, and skunks, they do not hibernate. So in the cold weather, they look for shelter places to stay warm, and it's completely normal to see them moving around in the winter. If they rest near your home, it's okay to leave them be. They're simply just trying to survive the season. If the weather is severe and you'd like to help, you can leave out small amounts of appropriate food, such as fruits or regular dog or cat food. Oh, I should get some like dry dog
We do
and cat
have
food.
some.
No, I don't have it anymore. It was old. I threw it away.
Oh.
But anyway, I could get a bag of, dry cat or dog food. Somebody would eat it. And then fresh water placed low to the ground can also make a big difference, since natural resources often freeze. And
can we go back to those robins for a second?
Yes,
that
please.
was
Let's do that.
amazing. I
know.
couldn't believe it. I always thought, and it must be a misnomer, most robins go south in the winter, but not all. But I always thought seeing a robin here in Minnesota is like the first sign of spring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you always say that. Oh, here's a robin. It's springtime.
Yeah.
But there were 6 of them around that drinking. They were all together.
Not sipping. They were drinking hardcore.
Yeah, they must have been. Maybe they were flying somewhere and they
were really thirsty.
They were really thirsty because they drank for a long time in the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every day I go out there and I just dump it, give it a quick rinse, and fill it back up again. I know, I can't. And I'm thinking to myself, I should get another one that's lower, so the little mouse can come and get your water. Yeah, I'm just crazy.
Yeah.
But it says here in this article, please remember, helping wildlife doesn't mean drawing them close to your home or encouraging them to rely on people. Simply giving them a safe space and occasional support during extreme cold is enough.
So, like the food we give them, we throw it away from the house. We don't the chipmunks, when we used to hand feed them, I'd like to, bring them in the house and hang out. But
Little Chippy
they're
is
hibernating
in the
by
front, under our front stairs. We have there's a crack, which will never get fixed because we know the chipmunks live
Plus,
there.
we're old. We're not going to fix anything.
We're crazy. But anyway, it says, excuse me, these animals play an important role in the ecosystem. Possums, in particular, are known for eating ticks and other pests that we'd rather not have around. So,
yeah,
I haven't seen a possum this season yet.
No, but it's only
started.
It's only really started being winter like a couple weeks, because it was like in the 50s not that long ago.
I know, we had a really mild November.
Yeah.
But
we're about to get hit here with some snow. This is like that one year that it was very slippery to walk.
Mm-hmm. Well, Wanda has that collapsing trachea. Yeah, she was diagnosed with a collapsing trachea. She's on medication and she's managed well, and she's doing okay. She's doing all right. She gets like coughing fits, and they don't last very long. She's pretty okay. We're not sure whether this is going to progress and get worse, so we're just keeping a really good eye on her. But the problem is the cold air triggers the trachea to collapse, and then she gets spasms in the trachea, and it causes her to have a coughing fit.
Mm-hmm.
So I have like a schedule of which temperature she can go out for amount of time. And right now, this weather, it's just like she can go out for like 2 minutes, like
Mm.
potty break, come in. And when she comes in, she is coughing,
Yeah.
you know. So
Late at night too.
yeah, I'm going to take her to New York.
Oh,
And
I'll miss you.
well, you're coming too.
Okay, good.
But then you're leaving, and then Wanda and I are going to stay out there just for a little while because it's warmer there.
Go on the boardwalk.
Generally speaking, not always, but generally speaking, it's 10 to 15 degrees warmer there.
Well, it's warmer by the
Usually-
ocean,
yeah, it's
and
usually
then
in
the
the
city.
30s.
In the
It's
city,
usually-
it
yeah.
gets a little cold.
It's
but-
usually in the 30s, and so she'll do much better there. And I mean, we haven't taken her out for a walk in weeks because it's been so cold. I mean, today
I haven't gone out for a walk in weeks either.
today I had a doctor's appointment and, you know, quick checkup, whatever. Anyway, Robert drove me. I was like, oh, let's take Wanda in the car because, you know, she's doesn't have anything to do. But I bought her. Did I tell everybody that I bought her like that busy mat?
No.
So it's like this felt mat, and it has all these little compartments in it, and you put little treats in all these different compartments, and she sniffs out the treats. And it's supposed to be good enrichment for her. You know, good chemicals are released when she's doing this sniffing and finding the food. And I've been doing it every day, and she gets so excited. Like she knows already when I pick up the mat, like she's going to get treats. But it said in the thing that, oh, it'll give your dog enrichment for half an hour. It takes her like 15 minutes and she's done.
She's a
She
chow.
gets all the treats out. So she had a good time today. Went for a car ride and she had her mat.
Hey, tomorrow, Minneapolis Air. This is Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow. Ho!
MIWR is a proud supporter of Native Roots Radio. Looking for health insurance?